will you experience at a Knock 'em Dead comedy murder mystery show? Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And, of course, some music. Knock 'em Dead Comedy is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what? Absolutely. Good.
Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knock 'em Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what?
I had an awesome time.
All right. You had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Fundraisers, private parties, corporate events, restaurants, and more. Contact Knock 'em Dead Comedy for your event today.
The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
Hi, I'm Danny Bonaducci, and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something, or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes, this is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Voice, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sally on the Knock 'em Dead radio show. They're going to keep knocking 'em dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus, and...
3-2 to Mookie Wilson. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Malcolm Day Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully you'll get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
It's already crazy here. Good morning, everybody.
And Spike wasn't around.
We're having a good time already. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Malcolm Day Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club podcast on the Twitch channel. Thanks for joining us. You see the graphic right above my head. Please follow this page. Share the link to the show and enjoy the show. Hello, Beansy. Hello, Mo Meltz. There she is. She says, yeah, there you go. Yeah. We're just getting started here. Will is here. Helaine has just walked in. Take your time. Get yourself settled. Do you have to go to pee or anything? You did. There she goes. Okay. She's not talking this morning.
A lot of nods.
I don't know what that was.
I don't think she wanted to. I don't think she wanted to talk and like interrupt the.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks. Thanks, Helaine.
Hear what I said? She wanted to interrupt the flow.
The flow. I didn't get it because she's gonna go pee.
It's actually not what I was thinking, but it works. It works.
Really? That was coincidental?
It was coincidental.
Wow.
It was up in my cerebrals.
Mo Melt says she's here. What does that mean? Are you like actually here, or you just mean in the chat? I don't know what she's.
Maybe she knew that. Maybe she knew Helaine was here.
That could be too.
She drive her?
Maybe she is. Maybe she is Helaine. So welcome.
Well,
Helaine Witt is here. She's going to talk about the time that she actually, I think she met the Beatles on more than one occasion.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think I don't know her, but I remember years ago, I remember her post something about how I don't think she was in the Dakota, but I think she met, I think like they knew her on a first name basis. Like, I think they knew who she was.
Because she was a stalker?
No, I don't know. No.
She's got pictures, which I have here, that I'm going to share once she's here and we're talking to her, of her with Lennon, but it's actually from the 60s.
Yeah, well, it's not from the 80s.
Well, it might be, but that would be pretty scary. Will Scharen is here hanging out today. Here comes Helaine Witt.
Hey, you want to sit over here?
Yeah, come on.
I brought stuff.
You brought stuff. Bring your stuff. Do you need help?
No, I didn't bring that much.
Look at that. Photo albums and papers and all sorts of stuff going on here. Hi, Helaine Witt.
Sorry I'm late.
That's all right. Everything all right?
Yeah, just no excuse.
Oh, all right. That's cool.
Not professional.
That's right.
That's all right.
Who is?
Yeah, right. True. Nobody is around here. How are you?
Okay.
Good to see you.
You too. I'm excited to be here.
Are you?
George's birthday, 80th birthday, George Harrison.
George Harrison would be 80 years old. Yeah. And we were just talking about you. So we got our Beatles stuff, and Will has his Grateful Dead shirt on just to be a rebel about it.
Yeah, wasn't even thinking. No, I was saying how we never met, but I said how I remember a couple of years ago you posted that, like they knew you like on a first name basis, right?
The Lennons.
I don't know about first name basis, but they knew me. That's nice of you to say. These are from Linda Marcus Smith, by the way, from Vegas. I said to give you that, and it's because I heard that I'm here because she was on the show and I drove her here.
That's right.
And that's why I got on.
And I said to her to go outside and get you instead of sitting in the car. I don't know. I guess she didn't want to share her spotlight.
Well,
But I
Art
felt
Still
bad.
was going to surprise you because you were talking about him, and I said, go through the back door. It's 45 minutes from where he was. They were talking about him, and he was making cracks like, is Art still with us? That kind of joke.
Oh,
So
right.
I said, Art, you have to get here. Go through the back door and scare the shit out.
Art Schill, yeah, of course you can curse. Art Schill was commenting how he liked Linda Marcus Smith, so we were trying to, and Linda Marcus Smith, yeah, she was in town. She was looking for a little loving while she was in town, so we were trying to make it happen.
Well, it's going to be
I think we gave Art Schill a heart attack.
Art Schill could come in any door. He would scare me half to death.
So,
He'd
all right,
stay
so
on stage longer than his time. Who said that?
Mo Meltz says hello, Helaine. Mo Meltz.
Hi, Mo Melt. But thanks for saying the Lennons knew me by my first name. I wouldn't say that, but John was nice to me. And some fans didn't have it so nice with John.
Yeah.
Stories I heard when I went to Abbey Road.
Yeah.
There are steps there. That's all I'll say.
Oh, did he knock somebody down the steps? I don't believe that's not giving peace a chance. So, all right, let's go to the beginning. How did all this happen?
What happened was I was a Beatles fan in 9th grade because I'm old. I don't know if you two were born yet, but I was a Beatles fan in 9th grade, and I blew out my candles at my Sweet 16, and I said, I want to meet the Beatles. Everybody did. But then in this magazine, I forgot the name of it, Flip or something, it showed this girl in front of Paul McCartney's house. Like it was doable. They weren't like in Hard Day's Night with millions of girls running around. They just lived life. And when I saw that, my friend Jude and I saved up our money, and we
Hey, you had to have. You
knew that was coming.
You had to have always said, "Hey, Jude."
Well, she was there when all that happened too. I have pictures.
Was she originally called Jules?
No, that didn't happen. But he knew her name. Paul knew her name for sure, and it was during the recording. But anyway, that's a separate story. So we took a student ship. So our parents thought we were taking courses on a ship, and that we were with the rock band on the ship. Jeez. We were young little teeny boppers. But then,
no, wait a minute. You went on a ship to go to England?
Yeah.
How did you got your
student ship?
And how long does that take, or did it take back then?
I don't know, but it was fun because we were with the band and we were having fun. We went to the jukebox.
And how old are you at this point?
I was 18. 16? I was older than usually a Beatle fan would be. We were older than.
Oh, so you didn't need your parents' permission at this point?
No, but my mother said if you're going to England for those Beatles and you're not really going on a museum tour, and I said she doesn't know me very well. I would never go on a museum tour, but I lied to my mother.
Was it like an exchange student thing? Like were there English kids that were coming?
No, it was just
overseas.
Going to England, and
wow.
I lied to my parents.
Oh boy, all you kids out there watching,
don't do that.
Yeah,
I say that when I tell the story. If there are any children in the audience, don't ever do what I did. It's very naughty.
In the audience, well, you have a little show about this?
No.
Oh, you just mean when you're doing your thing?
You're right. I told a story.
Oh, okay.
It's one of my bits in comedy about my doctor who thinks he's the biggest Beatle fan, but he's really just an expert in bones. But when it comes to the Beatles, he acts like he knows everything.
Yeah, you set him straight. You're like, I know everything.
You're like, damn it, Jim, you're a doctor, not a Beatles fan.
So I do this bit. So there were children. I was telling the story, and then I said, don't do what I did. Don't lie to your mother.
Yeah. All right. So you jump on the ship. And what rock band is on the ship?
Oh, just the
yeah. Okay.
So that's not part of the story. And we get there to Southampton. We get to London. And the girls said, this part of the story is unusual for me to even tell, but the girls in front of Abbey Road, you walk to Paul's house. John was staying at Paul's house because Cynthia didn't appreciate Yoko wearing her robe or anything. So John and Yoko lived at Paul's house during those days.
Oh.
That's not said a lot.
Cynthia, his ex-wife.
His first wife, yeah.
Yeah, they broke up during the Maharishi time.
Yeah.
So
we're talking 1968.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, he's good.
I know my
Yeah,
Beatles.
Yeah.
That's
very
the time.
impressive.
Isn't 68 when Paul admitted he took acid on that interview, and then there was that whole thing where he admitted he took LSD, and then they got all upset. Supposedly, the Beatles got upset with Paul.
Yes.
That he had said that.
You're good. You two know things I didn't know. I could just throw my Beatle pictures out the window right now.
Oh, no.
Oh, I didn't come here to insult you.
So anyway, we made friends with the English fans because we just, my friend lied, and then they liked us. Okay,
There's a lot of lying going on here,
yes.
Helaine Witt. I'm getting very upset.
I don't lie
A lot
anymore.
of lions. We're talking about the Beatles.
Yeah. Oh, my friends are 70 years old now, and they do things that you consider lying to get in. Like, I'm not going to tell you too much in case they're watching.
Oh, tell us. You guys still living the life of sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
Well, put it this way. Paul just did a lyrics seminar at Yale University half a week ago, and my friend stayed out in the rain.
Really?
Right,
Coincidentally, Yale's mascot, the bulldog.
Yes, they took a picture by the bulldog. Very
Hey.
good, Will. They took a picture in front of the bulldog. Very good. Boy, you guys are impressing me.
They were standing in the rain. It's one of the lyrics.
Is that the exact...
In Hey Bulldog.
Oh, yes, you're absolutely right.
Wow, I have to tell...
He's
Marianne,
good.
if you're listening,
Doing it again.
you two really
Sorry.
know your Beatles stuff.
We do.
But I'm glad you brought the pictures, though, because I don't have pictures. I have YouTube
Yeah,
and
memories. Yeah.
iTunes. That's about
I've been accused of not really taking the pictures. I've been accused of photoshopping.
Not from us.
No.
No, absolutely not.
It's very insulting. And then there's a man, I feel like saying his name. He put his name over the picture last week.
Oh, yeah?
Then this guy said, when I was on the park bench in Central Park with Paul, we discussed Magical Mystery Tour. I said, you weren't there. There were 2 teenage boys there. If you were one of them, you were there, but there was nobody else. Is that good English? There was nobody else there, yeah. I'm wearing a Beatle jacket, and this, I have to say this because I'm wearing it, it's from John's public elementary school,
Oh.
Dovedale, and I bought it at the Woolworths near Penny Lane.
Oh, yeah?
So I was impressed that I thought to go to the Woolworths to buy school clothes that were from John's school.
But you didn't lie to try to get into the school for, pictures or anything, did you?
No, that didn't interest me, but I did I didn't lie.
No, because I didn't know if maybe they have, not a shrine, but, a tribute or something.
Well, they have that at the Five Towns College, don't they? They have a John Lennon walkway.
They do.
Oh, yeah?
They do.
I've never been to Five Towns.
I donated
Been to the
something
Five
there.
Towns, Hewlett. Would
Yeah, I know. Why did
Yeah.
they call the college that?
Shout out Tamburinos.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. Good deli.
The Godfather, that's a good hero. I haven't had that.
I once got yelled at in there. I asked for a roast beef sandwich, and then after they made it, I was like, can you heat it up? Apparently, I don't know why they got mad at me for that.
There's a reason I don't heat it up.
You eat it cold.
Okay, so you went to Abbey. So how long did you stay there?
I only stayed for the summer. I wanted to stay there.
Oh,
for
you were
the
there
rest
for a
of
whole
my life.
summer.
Yeah, 2 months.
That's cool.
And they went in and out. They walked. Paul would walk, and John and Yoko. Unfortunately, she was there. Walk to Paul's house and back, and they'd get out at 5 a.m.
Wow.
And then they'd go in later.
Yeah.
So it was really, there weren't fans there in the middle of the night. The
Right.
English girls weren't there, so we'd stay out. And we were stranded because the youth hostel didn't let us in that late, and there were no trains. It's not like New York, so we were stranded out there. And it was very cold in London at night.
Yeah.
But isn't their summer, isn't school I think August, they're off. But I think July they still have school. I could be wrong.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I know that we went to Disney World the end of August, and there were a lot of English in Disney World because I think they started their holiday.
That's cute. How we did that.
It's got to anger you though that people accuse you of, or that pictures that you've taken, people either accuse you of forgery or they try to take credit for yours. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Like if you said, "No, I'm the one that told John cross your arms and put on the New York City T-shirt. Like that's.
I told
that's
John
one
to
thing.
wear the white suit when he crossed the street.
I was like, Paul, your feet are hurting. Take the shoes off.
You two are funny. I love your Beatles stories.
No one will know.
That's
So,
very funny.
Yeah. I mean, it seems. I mean, you just look at the pictures. You can tell it's you. There's no photoshopping going
Well,
on
you
there.
can see it's me. It's my side of my nose. Even at Central Park on the bench, the one I have at home, is my nose shows more. And then the pictures that I have are just John and Paul on the bench.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have at home? A nose or a bench?
I have a better picture of the original.
Oh, okay.
People have copies. Paul has my picture of them in Central Park in his lyrics book. So I
Really?
I need
Oh, wow.
to sue his ass, But it's my own fault that he has a copy. Is my own fault.
The lyrics book that just came out like a
Yes.
year? Really?
I
have
didn't
that.
see it yet.
So do I.
The double volume.
Yeah.
I have. I got that for my birthday.
Yeah.
From my wife.
That's nice.
So it's
Well, I'll
in,
have to look for
My
that.
picture.
It's in. Where would I find it in the book?
Wherever they were in Central Park in May
Okay.
12, 1968.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look it up. 5/12/68. I'm good with numbers.
Well, I found out that wasn't the real date, but I always say that's the day I met John and Paul.
Oh, okay.
It's the day that I celebrate it, but it's really not the right date. Now everyone thinks I'm lying about the whole story.
Well, I'm confused. Central Park is in New York. Central
Yeah,
Park.
first
I don't
I
even
met
think
them
you
there.
went to Las Vegas.
I don't think you know Linda Marcus Smith.
This tastes
First
like
I met.
tastes like Lint's chocolate to me.
That's so funny.
I wish. I'm hungry.
First I
Five
met
pounds.
John and Paul. Okay, so in the newspaper they announced John and Paul were going to be on Johnny Carson. So
Right.
we went to Manhattan, and I lied, and I didn't go to college that day,
Oh boy.
and I lived at home, and I
Big girl.
went into an office, and we eavesdropped, and we found out that John and Paul were going to be in New York, and we found out, I'll cut the story short, we walked with them through Central Park. So we're the only ones there except with them, and it was very special. They were with Magic Alex, who
Yep.
who he is, and Neil Aspinall. So that's who's in. Those are the people in my pictures, and they're very special. And
So
I'm
that's
saving them.
and that's before the trip to England, then.
Yes, so that's why John knew me. That's why I didn't say that.
All right.
part.
So when you went to England, he remembered you.
Yes, he said. I think he said the words, "This is my friend from New York."
Oh,
Because
wow.
we were the only ones walking around, and what we did in Central Park, we told them, you're going to be preempted by this. The preliminary elections happen around that
Yeah,
time of year, so we said you're going to be preempted, and John and Paul were not happy to hear that. And Joe Garagiola took over for Johnny Carson that day.
Right. Yeah.
So then Joe said to John and Paul, not that I watched the tape 100,000 times, did anyone recognize you? And I think they
But what
said,
year is it? This is not 68 anymore.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
still
this
68,
was
yeah.
before. Yes, it was same.
Okay.
It was right around May 12th.
So May 68. You're in college.
May 12th.
This is not. But when you went to England, that wasn't 68.
Yes, I
Okay.
went right after that. So this happened around May 12th, 1968, and then that summer when I was off college, that's when I went.
Oh,
to
summer
England.
68 is when you went to Apple Studios.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they called it EMI then. It's funny
Yeah,
now
yeah.
they call it Apple. Yeah, we call it the steps of EMI.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I was thinking when you said you went to England first, I thought you. Wait, sorry, when you first said, not that you went there first, 'cause now I know.
You know what? Because he asked me about England, so I
Yeah,
answered him.
yeah.
I didn't tell him.
No, that's. I was trying to piece it
and
together.
My
that's why
fault, Will, sorry.
They remembered me.
Right. Okay. That's wild.
Thank you. It's you can't imagine
Yeah.
that being the best day of your life, and you don't. And I was missing from home because I stayed out overnight.
So it was the
in
worst
those
day of
days.
your life for your parents, but the best day for you.
That's very funny.
I have an aunt that lied to her mother, my grandmother, to go see the Beatles at Shea, and she got in so much trouble when she got home, and she got. I think she may have been hit, and then she got punishment, the whole 9 yards, and that's what she said. She goes, "It was all totally worth it," she said.
That's a riot. I didn't get beat, but my mother said these words to me, which was just like getting hit. She said, "When I find out where you were." So then she probably imagined much worse.
Yeah.
Did you ever admit to her, like later on in life
You know
or
what
something?
happened? People from England were sending me pictures and postcards, and I think Maybe when John died, I called her. I was living in California then, and I think that's when I told her. I mean, by then, my brothers probably told her.
Your mom's like, oh, I thought you were hanging out with Herman's Hermits.
Oh, my God, you're so funny. That is hysterical. Wow.
Can't spell no one without noon. Sorry.
What did you say? Can't spell?
No one without noon.
Peter Noon?
Peter Noon.
Yeah. Yeah, he plays around. I mean,
Yeah,
at
he
the
does.
Beatles Fest, you could see a lot of famous people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan, you could eat breakfast with Donovan. He's getting his buffet just like you. I take a Zoom camera and watch them while they're eating, so they have no privacy whatsoever.
Do you have pictures of Donovan eating breakfast?
Well, I have Mark Hudson and one of the Ruddles, but he died. The Ruddle that...
Neil Innes.
Yeah. Very good.
Yep.
Yeah,
The
not
ol-
very good that he died.
I only went to one Beatle Fest in my life, and all right, we're geeking out, but in the Ruddles, in the movie, it's the song Cheese and Onions from the Ruddles. It's a different version than the one that's on the album.
Oh, so you told them?
So a buddy of mine asked him, why, because he likes the version in the movie better. Neil Innes says, no, it's the same one. He goes, no, I'm telling you, it's a different version. They get into an argument. They're going back and forth. And I'm pulling my friend away because they're raising their voices at each other. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I pull him away. We finally get away. We're about maybe 30 feet away. So we start hearing, hey. So we turn back, and it's Neil Innes yelling to us. He goes, you're right. You were right. We're like, what the fuck? It was the weirdest thing.
That's cool.
But then Neil Innes played that night, all those Ruddle classics. Oh, it was great. It was a good night.
The Beatles
For us
Fest is
geeks.
great. I want to promote it. Am I allowed to say?
Yeah.
Promote anything you want.
www.festforbeatlefans.com. It's the best.
They can't legally call it Beatle Fest anymore.
Right.
Fest
Yeah.
for Beatle fans.
Yeah.
But they have, I mean, what's his name? Billy J. Kramer lost his wife, and she was the source of income. So go there and buy all his whatever he
Billy J.
sells.
Kramer's been in here with us.
Oh, he has.
He's a lot of fun. Although I'm upset because with his wife gone, he's now moved back to England. He lived in Plainview since the 80s. I had no idea until about 10 years ago that he lived on Long
So
Island.
sad, yeah. So he won't be at the Beatle Fest.
Unless they fly him in.
You won't see him at Ramo's either.
Exactly.
Or Bella Vista Pizza.
True.
I don't know if you have the thing. Who sponsors you?
No, he doesn't sponsor us anymore, but he's still my friend. So, the Beatle Fest, you go every year?
No, I should. But you would think I would, and I think he should have the guy Mark Lapidus could have one of us as a guest. One of my friends and I.
Actually, it's a good idea. You could talk about your experiences with them.
Yeah, instead of paying the $43 a day. Not that there's anything
Yeah.
wrong. It's totally worth it.
Sure. But is that how, because I was looking on Facebook,
Yeah.
you're Facebook friends with my brother.
Yes.
So is that how you know him, from the Beatle Fest?
One of the ways, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Your brother performs at the Beatle contest.
Mm-hmm.
I like to vote for the person who sounds exactly like them and looks like them. That's who I vote for. And then
So you vote for my brother? I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's a band, and they dress in like size 1 little Beatle suits. They're tiny little men, young boys. Not, you know what I mean?
We said
like
tiny
the Beatles
men.
used to
I
be.
don't know if you meant midgets
23.
or
Well, there are young children
thin guys.
Yeah, and they like the Beatles, and they're so much like them. So what I do is I stand up and cheer, and I make the whole audience want to vote for them. But yeah, I do know your brother. That's so funny.
Yep. Yeah, he's a...
Frank Walker.
That's him.
And I saw him there.
I know. I've seen the Fab Four cover band.
Oh.
I know a lot of people like Rain and 1964, but the Fab Four, I think, are
Where'd
the best.
you see them in Vegas?
No, I saw them at the Paramount a few years ago.
F-O-U-R, not Four.
Yeah, F-O-U-R, the Fab Four.
Yeah, Fab Four, they're fantastic too.
The Fab Four, though, I found out about them. They did a Christmas album called Hark instead of Help.
Yes,
and
it's good.
I love it.
Yeah,
a lot of people like my kids drive them nuts because like I saw her standing there is Rudolph.
Right.
But it's like I could listen to that all year. So then I got, for my wife and I and my parents, I got us tickets to see them at the Paramount. It was standing room only. And it's awesome. But they do costume changes. The guy that played Ed Sullivan in Pulp Fiction is the one that introduces them.
Oh, no kidding.
I saw them in Vegas. That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
Linda Marcus Smith and I saw them in Vegas. Yeah, the Ed Sullivan guy.
They're so good. And Gavin Pring, who plays George Harrison,
you know the names.
he's from Liverpool, he literally looks like George.
Oh, does he?
And when before it was no longer called Beatlefest, Paul McCartney met them and did say to him, "You do look a lot like George Harrison." Like, so there's a big thing that they pride themselves on the fact that they have the George that looks that according to Paul looks the most like George.
Oh wow!
So you have to sound like George and you have to move your feet like George.
Yeah, and do the. He does this like eyebrow thing with his teeth too. No, he does. But they had said there's a whole thing they have to get down.
Wow.
They've gone through. Yeah, Artie ARDI is the guy that plays Paul. I don't know if he's like Guyanese or something like. But he looks a lot like Paul. He's a righty, learn how to learn how to play bass lefty.
Yeah, that's like the original Beatlemania, the guy that played Paul. He's
Weissman?
That's it. Thank you. He is righty too. He had to
Yeah.
train himself to play lefty.
Yeah, I think the guy they met at a Beatlefest in California, but like I think one of the guys is from California, and then the other three they've gone through like the guy that's John and the guy that's Paul I think are the two original guys, and then Gavin's like the third George, and they've had like 5 Ringos.
There's a famous George, if I may interrupt, who does George in a band. He's older.
Yeah.
And he's a famous George.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy Pope.
Okay.
What do you mean he's a famous George?
Like he's known, I guess. As
He's known in the Beatles circuits as the George.
So.
Oh,
I
okay.
think so. Well, to my friends and I, we went to see them, but now you said 1964, the tribute. That's the band he was from.
Oh, okay. Frank Walker says hello back.
Hi, Frank.
There he is.
Yeah, but look, what he did at the Beatlefest, what everyone does is wonderful.
Oh,
I just always vote for the band that's, you're like me, fanatic. They have to be just, the Paul I saw in Vegas from your band was a different Paul.
Oh, yeah?
I think.
Could be.
I
saw them.
Maybe he was dead and they got an imposter.
I saw them, yeah. They're called Rubber Fold. Are there people, like, if Tony and I went to Beatles, the Fest for Beatles fans.
Right.
Looking at the two of us, right? I'll take my glasses off.
Would you look like
what do
we could either of us pass for
a Beatle? I could pass for Lennon's dog, I think, probably. Or
you
a
could
cat.
be Paul.
I could be
with
Paul.
Your eyes.
Oh.
And you could be John. Because John was in that picture of him on a vacation once. He was wearing a bathing suit and he was a little overweight.
Plus I beat my wife, so that works too. So, nice.
Wow, these two are so funny. I didn't expect them.
I was hoping for Paul, but that's all right, Helaine. I'll still talk to you.
Lennon's his least favorite Beatle.
I get it. I guess I get it. I'm not like so attached that
because he pushes people down the stairs apparently at Abbey Road.
But I love that he was. I like that aspect. But Paul, it's hard to live that life.
Paul used to be cruel to his woman too. He beat her and kept her away from things that she loved. But he did.
Man, he was. Yeah.
I mean, you got to give him credit. He's doing the best that he can.
Gotta admit.
Can't get much worse.
You two have this fun every day of your lives?
That's so messed up, Tony. It would make sense. You have one leg. You'd be the guy that's Paul. Because he had that wife with one leg.
There you go.
Yeah.
I swear to you, true story. I saw McCartney at Nassau Coliseum in April of 2002. And what was... Oh, Heather, right? That was her name?
Yeah.
She walked right past me.
Wow.
And I elbowed my buddy, and let's face it, she was one leg or not. She was hot.
She's a knockout, yeah.
And so we were watching her, and I was, looking at her butt, and just watching her walk. She got about maybe 30 to maybe 50 feet away, and she tripped, and she got right back up, and she was fine. Yeah. And I'm just one of those people. As long as somebody's not hurt, I will laugh my ass off at somebody.
I thought you were gonna say I went to help her.
Oh, I wish I would have given her mouth to mouth, but I did. I laughed. I was laughing. Sure enough, 6 months later, that's when I got sick, and then I eventually lost my leg. So
God
karma.
Punished you?
What's that?
God punished you?
God punished me, but I beat God because God gave me cancer, and I beat the cancer, and I'm still here to talk about it. Mm. So I beat God. But God still got me. He said, you laughed at Heather McCartney taking your leg.
and then you were like, I'll get back at you. That marriage ain't gonna last.
That's right.
That's what happens.
That's it.
What do you think of that, Sir Paul?
Take that.
Do you, as a Beatles fan, do you think that Paul really died during?
No, but my friends were my friends they stayed there after I came home. I never did finish the story.
Yeah,
I felt sorry for my parents paying 3 private colleges for my brothers and I, and then I'm going to stand at those steps forever because the only jobs they had there for me were folding hospital sheets or being like a nanny. And if you know where I'm coming from, I don't know how to make a bed. It's not funny. So they had.
Well, I would think you start with the frame, a little welding, some metal,
make a bed.
Some screws, maybe.
So
soldering.
You
maybe.
asked me a question. I forgot your question.
He asked
I'm
if you
old,
believe
too.
Paul is dead.
Yeah. So my friends were around during that whole scandal, and they would write to us and say Paul was wearing an old man's jacket, and he had the beard, and he was taking this tube, and it was like, Paul's not acting like Paul. Yeah. I'll say that he was acting like a different person.
Yeah, because there's a great, it's bogus first of all because they had like CIA people try to. Authenticate the voice. It's called Paul McCartney is not dead, or Paul McCartney is dead, and it was supposed to be a few months after George Harrison passed away. This production company got these tapes, and it says the last. It wasn't the last will and testament. It was like the last statements of George Harrison. So they got these FBI or CIA. I think it was CIA people. That specialize in voice recognition, and they couldn't authenticate that it was actually George Harrison. So the whole documentary is this voice. Sometimes it sounds like George, most times it doesn't. And for a guy that had been stabbed and had cancer and everything,
right?
There's no way it's George Harrison. But the imagery and all the stuff, it's like there's was it the book 26 If, I think it was called, about the license plate in Abbey Road in the white Volkswagen Bug.
Right.
It's a 26 If, and it's a Beetle. And there was a whole thing about, or 28 If, I think.
28.
I don't think they parked outside. I think they parked inside. Am I
No, but on the Abbey Road album.
There's a Volkswagen Beetle in the background.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So.
I thought you said the Beatles cars.
No, but the fact that it's a Beetle.
The car is a
the
Beetle.
car's
It's a Beetle. Yeah. But so the fact that it's a Beetle that says 28 If. And so anyway, it's all the stuff that people that have heard about it. It's all the things, all the bits and pieces everyone knows, set to this guy's voice, but he doesn't sound like George. That's the only thing. But you forget about it and you get so sucked into this.
What does that have to do with the Paul's dead?
The whole thing is, the whole tape is this George Harrison admitting Paul McCartney had died.
Oh my
and that
God.
The ministry had said that they had to have a private funeral, and that girls would have committed, it would have been mass suicides of young girls, so they had to get a replacement, and then that's why they stopped touring. It wasn't because of Budokan or being burnt out from touring. It was that they had to focus on the music, but it was really, this guy had to learn how to play lefty. They had to give this guy multiple plastic surgeries. It was
my God.
It's fascinating, even if you just watch it for humor. But I got so sucked into it. But I'm like, I had to remind myself, it's not George Harrison's voice. But I also wasn't alive when that first happened. So,
how old are you?
45.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a family already?
Yeah, married, 2 kids. 45. It's not
what do I know?
But it's not the prairie where you get married at like 17, 18.
Well, Latin America.
Yeah. Little
Wow.
little house on the Caracas. That was it. That
One
was
of those Beatles spokespeople at, the trivia contest that, Mangione.
Yeah, Chuck Mangione.
No, what's the guy's name on the Beatles station? Tom Frangio.
Oh, Tom Frangio.
He does a trivia contest. You would win it.
I don't think I would win it.
It's funny you should say that, Helaine Witt. Look what I brought with me today.
Beatles trivia?
Beatles Trivia Pursuit.
Nice. How cute is that? My friend's in there, Lizzie. The big game.
Gordon?
Is that the same as the big
Yes,
game?
these are just the cards from the game.
It says who's singing on Across the Universe, and those were my 2 friends. They both died. Lizzie and Gayleen.
Oh, wow.
They're in there.
Maxwell? That's Ghislaine.
Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't know what this is.
Silverhammer.
But so maybe we'll have a little fun in a little while and play some. But I want to get to the rest of you.
Joan Rivers.
Yeah, I want to talk about Joan Rivers. I want to do the pictures.
Picture frames.
Oh, okay.
With my rejection letter, they found my. I should show it to you. It's a letter from Joan Rivers' office on Pink Stationery. It says, "We moved our office and we found your jokes behind the cabinet."
But she actually did end up using some, right?
She bought some jokes and she told someone, Johnny Carson and all that.
Wow.
But the letter is funny that says, "Sorry, we found your jokes behind the file cabinet." Well, that's why she didn't buy any more.
Wow.
And then I have other things I brought.
All right, all right, well, you know what? I actually have, right here on my computer here, I actually have some of your photos.
Oh.
So I'm going to, so this is when you were there, right? This is when you went there on the boat trip?
Boat? Oh, yeah, the ship.
Right, so this is where John recognized you, right? You're saying?
Yeah, that's John and I. Thanks for having that. And
of course.
John sang to me on the steps of Abbey Road, and people think that's nice, but he was making fun of me. He was singing every time I hear a newborn baby cry. He was making fun of me because I said, "You're going to be on Robert Frost tonight, and we won't be able to see you because we live in the youth hostel." What did I expect John to do? Buy me a television in his house? So he said he sang every time I hear a newborn baby cry. So there's a picture of him singing to me, and the guy who lied about he said he was there taking pictures. My friend Kathy took most of the pictures. I didn't want to carry a camera around my neck because I thought it was uncool. Meanwhile, she has pictures of every day of her life being there. So who's the dummy?
Yeah.
Who's not cool?
Now this picture I find interesting because Lennon, that on the bottom there, that big picture of him, he looks pissed in that picture.
Oh, no.
Was he mad at you? He was like, enough with the pictures, love.
If you know Paul's house, that's right near Paul's house on this block.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, he wasn't mad at me at all, ever. Thank God. He even gave me a button off his lapel. Yeah, he's talking to me. He's not mad at me. That's Trident. Do you know about Trident Studios, Will?
No. I know the
Beatles were recording at other places.
Uh-huh.
So Trident was a studio that they did the Hey Jude record, not the David Frost.
Okay.
So they were recording it, and I looked through the drape, and I remembered John wearing the light blue striped shirt that you see in the Let It Be movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a memory, and I said, how could I ever prove that I looked through the drape and saw them? And then when I saw that shirt, that was exactly the shirt. But that's not what I want to say.
Wait, is Trident Studio the warehouse? Was that the warehouse one
that
they
Twickenham.
Twickenham, okay.
Twickenham Studios,
what I want you to know about Trident, it was an alleyway where prostitutes would be ripping off men, and you'd see the men running. And John didn't want us standing there because it was unsafe.
So what did he do?
Well, someone said he didn't like us standing there. He didn't say it to me.
But he saw you standing there.
I knew that was coming.
But that's where that picture was taken.
You know what I mean.
Oh, like I was one of the...
No, I saw her standing there. That was
So, those are the only pictures I have. So what else do you have here?
Well, okay.
So, and how come the picture's only with John? Like, where were the other guys?
Well, people stood with... I walked with John because I wanted to. When Paul talked, people were intimidated, but I could just stand there and listen to him talking. I wasn't intimidated. So I didn't really talk to George or Ringo.
Well, George was the quiet one.
Yeah.
But my friend Kathy has pictures. If you saw my Facebook today, it's Kathy with George.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Pictures with all of them.
I saw it yesterday.
Oh, my God. These guys are funny. These aren't my pictures. These are just
But see, I would think though of the four, I would think John would be the most intimidating one.
Yeah, I agree.
Not Paul. I think Paul comes across as the most the easiest one to talk to.
No, I think Ringo is probably the friendliest one. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very nice to my friend Kathy. Kathy, if you're there, hi.
Hi, Kathy. Jeff Bosey's watching.
Oh, great. Somebody's, I'm changing the subject.
Go ahead.
On Facebook, when it's a comedian's birthday, I say, what subject do you want your joke about? And somebody said, Jeff Bosey, and it's someone whose birthday's today or something. Last year, was it you?
Oh, no, Rich Rader's birthday today.
Rich Rader, so last year, guess what his
Silver
subject
Fox.
was? Guess what his subject was he wanted to joke about, Jeff.
Do you remember the joke?
I saw it today. It was making fun of him.
Well, that's what Rich does.
I know.
Yeah.
I made fun of his...
But they're very close pals.
They're in love.
I know. These are just pictures other people took. I'm looking for my pictures. I did organize it so my pictures would...
Yeah, we can tell.
I'm not organized right this minute. This is the... these are over the years.
Yeah, wings.
Yeah, they're over the years, but...
Yeah. The one shot, it's Paul on bass, but it's when him and Linda had the same haircut.
It's over the years, or it's Wings Over America? You see what I did there, Will?
This is my comedy
That's what you did.
scrapbook. What'd you say? Wings?
You said it's, I don't even remember anymore. I told
You said these are over the years.
over the years, and I said not Wings Over America. Get it? Get it? Wings Over America? Yeah.
Over is the key word. Well, anyway, I don't know what I was saying, but...
You're looking for the pictures that you took, you said.
Yeah, I hope they're in my bag. I brought more, but they're
So,
not here.
so
before that though, you were saying how much I look like Paul McCartney, and Tony looks like Yoko.
Yeah, I'm saying that already. You know what happened the other day?
I can sing like Yoko.
They played. They had a Yoko Day because it was her birthday, and then
Who had a Yoko Day?
On Sirius Radio, and they did all these.
Can't be serious.
Yoko songs. So guess what? When the guy was done, he said, "Are you still with us, audience?"
Yeah,
I bet. What they do? What they played a bunch of her music?
Yes.
For how long?
Long enough for him to say, "Are you still there, audience?"
Wow, I would have been blasting that throughout the house. That makes me laugh.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
This is we used to go to the Ed Sullivan Studios every Sunday instead of studying for my Spanish test, which is why I went to a college with a 76 average. And this is
Spanish was that high of a weight on your average?
No, that's just a joke. Chemistry was when I failed it twice. This is one of Cream. This is Ginger Baker.
Ginger Baker.
Right?
Oh, let me see that.
Yeah,
that's a good picture.
And that's Cilla Black. I used to go to Ed Sullivan's studio every Sunday and wait there for whoever came in and out. The Animals, Beach Boys. Yeah. And I had an autograph book.
Did you ever get to meet Topo Gigio?
That is funny because Joan Rivers wrote him, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is Clint.
I thought the mouse wrote his own
Clint
books.
from the Moody Blues who died. Just to show you I'm telling you the truth.
I believe you.
Would be. This is
What was lined in his coffin? White satin.
Is Paul's passport.
Lined with white satin.
You know, people used to steal things, and Paul came out, and his guitar was gone. So he said, "Find out how this girl stole my guitar." Well, guess how she stole it? She came in through the bathroom window above his doorway.
Is that where the song came from?
Song's about, but she did. That's how she stole it, and we found out.
Jeez. And then when they found out, the investigator totally blew it, so he quit the police department.
Oh my God, this guy. See this car? They went to the Yellow Submarine premiere in this car. These are pictures I traded. This is inside Paul's driveway.
So some of these you took, and then
Most of them I didn't. I traded, and we had a pact that we'd never make copies of each other's pictures. Yeah. Boy, oh boy.
Oh. So we're not allowed
before eBay.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're not even allowed to show these pictures? Is that what's going on?
That's why I'm not exactly showing them, but I'm kind of showing them because I can't find the ones I really brought.
You want me to grab your backpack?
I'm like, that was a good pact.
I'll get it. You want me to get it?
Well, Paul put my picture in his... Sorry, I'm moving. Paul put my picture in his book, so that really turned out well. Gosh, I had these ready for a month to come here, and then I leave them home.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, here's Paul and I. You said it. I just had John.
Oh, you got a picture of you and Paul?
And this is the Central Park picture. It's a bad copy that Paul has in his book. I don't need anyone having a better copy than me. This is the Central Park picture with Alex.
Oh, I'm sorry. So this is the picture that's in the lyrics book?
Yeah, allegedly.
Wow.
I didn't see it yet. You have it.
I have it too. I'm gonna.
And this is John and Paul and my friend Jude.
Yeah, so it's alphabetically all of the songs that he's written. So it's a double book. It's very cool though.
And I'm sure it's wonderful.
And that's you right there?
Yeah, that's me.
Can I show this one?
Yes, please, because Kathy took that. All of Kathy's pictures. Kathy's very generous about her pictures. And on the Beatles' birthday, she has a picture of herself with each Beatle. It's right there on her Facebook.
That's cool.
Damn.
But this is the Central Park picture that's in your lyrics book.
So the
bottom one.
Yeah.
so they were all of them. They were all nice. Like you don't like.
I have a funny story about George.
Okay.
Is this you? Is one of these you?
Yeah, that's me. I was
With the-
small. I was
that's you?
18 and skinny. Not skinny, thin.
You're thin now.
That's
What
cool.
do you call? Yeah.
That was this is 1968.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
And
And
my
that's
friend
Hans Christian
Jude-
Andersen. That
Yes.
picture.
Jude took me out of the picture, so I took her out of the picture.
Wait, who are the two guys that are with
No.
Lennon and Paul?
That's Jude and me. Those aren't guys. Oh, this is Magic Alex. I thought you meant this.
John's
That's-
not in that one.
This is Magic Alex and Neil Aspinall.
Okay.
Did you say a joke that I missed?
No.
That's Jude and I. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a cute story. That's where the camera is. I've been.
This camera right here. Yes.
Yeah, I've been going sideways looking at Will. So.
That's because I'm the cute one. Don't forget that, Helaine.
I think you're cute.
John Lennon may have been bloated in the Bahamas when they were filming, but
I knew he'd love that when I said it. John had a little. Did you ever see that?
no, I never got that close.
I don't
to
know
him.
if it's the Bahamas. Is that where he went? You know more about them than I
Well,
do.
today's the anniversary when they started filming in the Bahamas for Help.
Gosh.
Yeah,
You
he's
know
good.
the whole Bahamas thing. The whole reason. So they went to the Bahamas in the winter, not realizing how cold it was.
Oh.
And the whole thing was because after the success of A Hard Day's Night, with Help, they wanted it to be like sort of like a Bond movie, but they knew they had the clout that they could pick a destination.
Right, yes.
And they would say no. So they wanted the Bahamas, not realizing what the weather would be.
But they went in the water and stuff.
Yeah, but if you watch, there's a couple of scenes where they're filming. You actually
Shivering.
see Paul's breath.
Yeah.
When he has the girl, he's shivering, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's another. It might be the song "Another Girl."
Yeah, that's when he's playing a girl.
Yeah.
And he missed, and he went.
She want to keep going. She was like bass solo. Yeah.
I personally think Help is a hysterical movie.
Oh yeah.
I love that movie.
Shilling. When we were kids, now the hand signal means something else. But I remember when we were kids, we loved when they want to cut the ring off, and the Roger, he goes like this. He doesn't say anything. He just goes.
Right. Yes.
Can I tell you the George story now?
Yes.
Okay. So.
Oh wait! By the way, George ends up marrying the girl when they're singing. You gotta hide your love away. That's the girl.
No, George married the girl from I Should Have Known Better in the Cage.
In Hard Day's Night.
Oh.
That's the first
Who is
thing
also
I
Layla.
did.
The inspiration for Layla.
Then who's the
And
one?
something.
But the girl from in Help when they're singing "You Gotta Hide Your Love Away." The girl that's there, didn't one of them marry her too?
No.
Okay, I'm going to tell a story about George that's accurate.
Sorry.
I'm only kidding.
Story about George.
Did you hear that?
I did that to make him
I don't
laugh.
have any pictures of me and
And that
Julia
Yoko.
or
Julia
my
Lennon.
glass onion.
Okay. So George and the Beatles were in and out of Abbey Road. We called it EMI then, and there were just a handful of fans who waited around in that summer. There wasn't thousands of people, and there was a young boy named Klaus. I probably have his picture here. Young blonde boy from Germany who waited every day with us.
Klaus with blonde hair and German.
He's German.
Yeah,
What a sack.
Never would have thought.
So every day that week, right, Kathy?
This was not in Argentina, allegedly.
Every day, Klaus would say, "Friday I leave and I kiss George." And we were thinking,
Klaus would say that?
the little boy, he's like 14. He'd say, "Friday I leave and I kiss George goodbye." Every day he said it that week. So finally the day came and we were all waiting there to see what would happen. So Klaus goes right up to George and he goes, "Today is Friday, I'm leaving and I just want to kiss you goodbye." And he was innocent about it, you know, and George stepped back.
George goes, "No, I'm sorry, John's the pedophile." It's John, he's the one that does the kissing.
Why, what story am I missing?
No, I'm making a joke.
Yeah. That's so funny. So
We don't
George
kiss like the
was
Germans
just shocked, as we knew he would be. Like, is
Yeah.
this? Yeah. So we were right about what would happen. That when he finally said, "Today is the day I leave and I kiss you goodbye."
He was like, "Hold on,
Just-
get back to where you once belonged."
Do you remember in the 6-hour documentary what he said about Get Back?
No,
Did you watch it?
I did, but it was 6 hours.
I
don't
know
remember
it's a
details.
lot. He said to Paul, "What's the point of this?" Well, you could do his accent. what's this song about? You get back, you go back. What's the point of this song, Paul? Is this such a big deal song? He challenged it.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite parts of that whole movie, because to watch Paul, they got it on film, him writing that song,
right?
Which to me was just phenomenal,
Ringo goes
magical
from
to watch.
sitting there like this.
Yeah, right.
To then Ringo starts drumming on his hand and then puts a drum beat to it. Yeah, that is one of the best.
What I love is when George challenged Paul and said, what's the song? Like, he had been to Big Pink, right? And he was with all those great writers, and he's like, you get back, you go back, and then he quit.
The best part of the whole thing.
A couple times, but they had the Maharishi people sitting there in the corner the whole time.
The Hare Krishnas, right?
Hare Krishnas, yeah. They're sitting there the whole time, like in the corner, doing nothing.
Right.
How about Yoko? She did a lot. I said, don't you have any cocktail table to dust at home or anything? You're just sitting there. Meanwhile, wouldn't I have just sat there the whole time and stared at him? But I didn't like the
she
fact
doesn't have
that
any
she had
howler
no
monkeys to sing with?
Doesn't she have her life's work that she did before that day?
Yeah.
Do you have a Chuck Berry song to ruin?
Oh my God, that's funny.
Chuck Cavett show?
Yeah, I love it, the look on his face.
Oh, Mike Douglas. Sorry, Mike Douglas.
The best part of that whole movie, though, was when Ringo's sitting on the floor with George Martin. He turns to me and goes, "I've just farted." And George Martin goes, "Thank you, Ringo," and Paul walks away. I couldn't believe that. I was cracking up.
That's amazing.
So, what the hell was I going to ask? So, that was 68 was the only time you met them, or did you meet them other times?
Well, we used to go to where Linda Eastman had her apartment.
Oh, because her family also lived out east. Yeah.
There a lot, and I had a bad encounter there.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I want to tell that story, but
you don't have to if you don't want.
She won.
Are we talking about Linda?
Yeah.
Oh, you had an encounter with Linda?
And Paul.
Oh.
Linda won.
The restraining order?
It was an argument.
You said meat's better?
No, it's about...
Did you turn her microphone off and the keyboard off on concert?
That's very funny. Well, you know what Linda used to be in the... I told you I used to wait for groups.
Yeah.
At Ed Sullivan and other places. So
and you worked for Polaroid, which was a big conflict of interest with
the Eastman family.
That's very funny. Your jokes are great. Well, she said to me once, "What magazine are you from?" I was 16 years old, and I was seeing The Who for the first time.
Nice.
Meeting them.
Who?
Right.
And I
Third
said,
base.
"Flip." I made a joke, Flip. You're a photographer. You're picking on a little teeny bopper. So anyway, she used to go wait.
Flip was the magazine, though.
Yes, but I made a sarcastic remark, which I was proud of that. But a lot of good that did me. But look where she is now, so that's not nice. Will I ever forgive her? So anyway, so she used to be at her apartment, and my friends and I would watch them go in and out, and we had words because she called me a name, I called her a name, and then Paul said, "If I tell all this, I'll never write a book, but here goes." He said, "Do like Hubert Humphrey, look to the year 2000. So
what?
She couldn't.
Right.
That's funny. He overlooked the fact that she called me a name and what I called her in front of him.
Well, he couldn't say "give peace a chance." That was already trademarked by somebody else.
He couldn't say "I know where she." But in an interview, he said, "I know where Linda's been, and I've done things too."
Yeah, there was a whole thing that in St. Louis, I think it was, when they first toured the U.S. I think it was St. Louis, where supposedly there was like a 14-year-old girl or 13-year-old girl that was in one of the hotels they were staying in, and I'm pretty sure it was Paul that she visited and like spent the night with him.
Wow!
Oh boy!
This
There's like
guy
a whole
knows
thing.
more than my
This
friends.
is no, I don't know if it's true, but I remember reading somewhere that that there was a thing that like that was part of why they started to get rushed out of the U.S.
So, and he figured, I can't use the lyrics. She was just 14. You know what I mean? Like he had to like change that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She was just 14. You know what I mean?
You do all 4 accents.
No, I do one accent in different octaves. None of which could pass at the Fest for Beatles fans.
That's funny.
I was once, like I said, the only time I ever went to Beatle Fest was one time, and I was watching the bands, right? And to my left, behind me, was a guy who was singing every song, the top of his lungs, every song that the band was playing, and to the point that it was like annoying me. But I'm trying to watch. After a while, I finally turned and said, "Who is this guy that just won't stop singing?" It was freaking Rob Bartlett.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
And I've never told him this
Legend.
story, but
guy's
yeah.
a legend.
That's funny.
But the one time I had him in here, I was so tempted to tell him, but I chickened out.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with saying it in a positive way.
Oh, there's nothing wrong. Well, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with singing, but I just wanted to hear the bands. But
Yeah.
so he was annoying
Well,
me.
that's one of my gripes. You go pay $100 or $200 to see a band, and you bring your kids and your parents,
Right.
and all three generations are singing. When you want to hear Elton John sing your song, you don't want to hear his family. I paid $200. Could you shut up?
Yeah.
It's one of my.
Well, his parents, but the Showalters, they actually left the Ringo concert early because they didn't
did.
like it.
Yeah, they went to. They saw him, Ringo and his all-star band, out Brookhaven. I think it was Brookhaven.
Bald Hill.
Yeah, and so they didn't know all the other musicians that were there, so they thought it was going to be Ringo and it was going to be all Beatles songs, not knowing that.
Not each of them doing one of their songs.
Yeah. Because
Wow.
I don't think Jeff Lynne may have been in the band too.
Jeff Lynne, no.
No, wasn't he in the All-Star band once?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Google
He
it.
definitely wasn't there. The only reason I remember your parents leaving because I was there.
Yeah, you were at the.
That's why I remember it.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me.
Jeff Lynne was
But he
awesome.
definitely wasn't in it that night.
But he's a guy that, like, the first time I heard the Telephone song,
Yeah.
I thought it was like he kind of has like Paul McCartney.
Well, Lennon called the Yellow the son of Beatles. That's
Yeah.
what he used to call them.
And he did some work with. He was called in. Is that what you just said? He was called in to be with the Beatles.
Well, yeah,
No, I
Free as
thought
a
he
Bird
I
was
thought
Jeff
he, I
Lynne.
thought he had been in
yeah.
the Ringo All-Star band once.
I'm gonna Google while you're talking amongst yourselves.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, we were gonna
How about
talk
those Mets?
I thought you were gonna talk about comedy.
we can talk about comedy, sure.
I'm proud to say that I started comedy in San Francisco, where Robin Williams used to do improv.
Oh,
'cause I'm
wow.
that old, and this is just to show you. I was at the club. It's called the Holy City Zoo. They're little tiny pictures. Of
Yeah,
me.
this is a contact sheet.
Yeah, the Holy City Zoo is the club that when I walked in, and Robin Williams was with Papaya Juice, which you won't find it if you Google it, but that was the name of his improv group.
Oh yeah.
And then one of the members of Papaya Juice was my improv teacher. So,
So-
I'm proud of that.
So what am I looking at here? Is
That's
that
just
you?
The insignia. Yeah. Again, I was little and thin and young, but that's the Holy City Zoo background, just to show you I was at
okay.
the club, and that's where Robin. He
Oh, I
ended
see
up
it all now.
buying it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not
Is
a
he-
Holy City Zoo anymore.
Is Robin Williams in any of these pictures?
No,
Oh.
but
Oh,
I have
just ruined it.
pictures of him with
He was
my.
stealing somebody's jokes somewhere.
Yeah, I have a joke that I think he stole.
Really?
That's something I'm
Yeah.
proud of. On the other hand, I'm not sure he stole it. Okay,
Wow.
so the teacher and the MC of the show that I used to do
Oh wow.
had an Elvis pompadour, but his facial hair was like Charles Manson. So my first joke was, Frank, you used to look like Elvis, but Elvis is dead, and Elvis probably just died around that time too. So Elvis is dead, and now you look like Charles Manson. Well, Robin comes out, and we used to be doing open mic, but if Robin walked into the club, we slinked down and went to our seat.
Yeah, I bet.
Because he was already on Mork and Mindy then, and plus he was so
Cocaine,
good.
too.
So anyway, he gets out and he says, Frank, you look like Charles Manson. So Frank looked like Charles Manson in his beard, not his hair, but I couldn't help but think he heard me say it. So I don't care. I think it's great.
I think that qualifies as having
Stealing.
your joke stolen by Robin Williams.
Oh, so when Ringo Starr had the All-Star band,
He's Googling
Colin
it.
Hay from Men at Work,
Yeah.
Oh, that night? Yeah, I can tell you who was there that night. Steve Lukather from Toto.
yeah,
Greg Rowley from Journey. Hamish Stewart, who also played with Paul.
right,
Matt Bissonette on drums.
That's
Greg
who I
Bissonette.
saw. All those-
What did I say?
Matt.
Oh, Matt was his brother.
Warren Ham from Blood Rock, Kansas, and AD, with guests Joan Baez, Don Powell, and Klaus Vorman.
No.
Was that the one that wanted to kiss George? Klaus?
Oh, no. Klaus Vorman is at the Beatle Fest sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting older.
No, those guys weren't. Joan Baez and Klaus Vorm. I would have remembered if they showed up. They weren't
Greg
there that
Raleigh,
night.
Hamish Stewart, Greg Bissonette, Warren Ham though, Steve
Yeah.
Lukather, and Ringo Starr. That was what, 2019?
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah. That was the 14th installment of the All-Star Band.
I want to change the subject.
Yeah.
There's a movie I'm in.
From the Beatles?
It's about comedy, and it's a movie. It's called Good Timing. It's about a senior group, which I'm in, and it went all the way to the awards, the Critics' Choice Award. We're very proud of it. Nice. But it shows Joan Rivers. The reason I'm talking about it shows Joan Rivers telling that joke, one of my jokes on Johnny Carson, and I'm saying how it bombed. She told it again. So they show her telling it again. And then I say it bombed again. It shows her telling it again.
Oh, that's funny.
And I have it on my phone. I just watched it last night.
So what's the name of it?
It's called Good Timing.
And where can we see this?
On Peacock, it's $4.99. I have it for free because I paid for it.
But if you have Peacock, it's free.
No, believe it or not, it used to be. Yeah,
oh, okay.
You could get Peacock for free, but it's $4.99. But since I watched it last night, maybe anyway.
Good Timing.
Good Timing.
Peacock.
With Joe Firestone. Do you know Joe Firestone?
I knew Joey Gladstone. I knew.
Joe Firestone was a writer on Jimmy Fallon, and she went on Jimmy Fallon to talk about the movie.
Why do you have to pay for it if you're in it?
I know. We told that to Joe.
Yeah, who do we got to complain
about? Every week.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't pay for it when it first came out, but I'm not going to complain because she's put me in 5 movies now. And
wow.
She said, Helaine, you've doubled my class because I have a lot of friends. I said, you've doubled my career.
Wow.
She put me in 5 movies.
That's good.
So what do you do in this movie?
This is the picture of Kathy and George. I'm changing the subject.
Oh, okay.
What do you do in the movie? Actress?
No, it's a documentary. And she interviews us. We're all in the senior center. And I said I wrote jokes for Joan Rivers. And they got permission from Johnny Carson's estate to show Joan Rivers. I have it on video myself, but that's Kathy and George, my friend Kathy and George. She has one of all the Beatles. So anyway.
When she smiled, George said there's something in the way she moves.
He was very nice, and so was Ringo to the Apple Scruffs.
Is that what you called yourselves?
No. Okay. George invented Term Apple Scruff. It's a record. You know,
it's a song of his, yeah.
But this guy, Chris Crawford on Sirius, calls everyone an Apple Scruff, and I'm very offended by that because the Apple Scruffs were a group of people who stood in the fog and rain. They're not everybody. And Chris Crawford, I've told him not to do that because these are special people George picked. He can't just call me and you an Apple Scruff. That's
he didn't call you guys Apple Cores without the C. That would be worse.
Apple Whore?
Yeah.
Well, they stood outside. They didn't do anything. I'm trying to be funny than you. It's not working. So what was that? So I'm in the movie, and I'm proud of it because they showed Joan Rivers telling the joke and then me. And then there was another joke that I know is on Johnny Carson because I have a tape of that too, a VHS. But I turned it into CD.
Nice.
So the movie's about comedians?
It's about 16 senior citizens during the pandemic. We put on a show.
Oh.
That's all it's about. And
a stand-up show?
Yeah, they had these people who never stood up before. In fact, one lady's 88, and she's talking, and she fell in the movie. And I was there when it happened, but when you watch it, it's funny, and she fell. And then I'm thinking, lawsuit.
We can see this in the movie? Yeah. Oh, I got to watch this movie. I want to see the lady fall.
I have it for free because I paid $4. I have the movie.
Now, wait a minute, though. Did you say they did a show? It was the first time these people got up in front?
Yes. They're
not you.
Okay. So I know. I'm in the class because it's like improv. Joe Firestone she's a teacher of improv, so we just sit on the Zoom, and she throws out topics. But this particular time, she put on she said, I need you all to do 3 minutes of comedy. So 3 of us were already comedians who I brought to the class, and the rest just did it for the first time. It's very heartwarming. It's a nice little documentary, and it went to the Critics' Choice Award.
Wow. And who were the comics that you brought with you?
Ziggy Susser and Tom Padavano. Those are my friends. They're in the movie, too. And then Ziggy, when she interviewed Ziggy, he said, I'll never end up on The Tonight Show. Well, she brought the movie to Jimmy Fallon because she used to write.
Oh, yes. I heard about this.
So then he showed the part where Ziggy says, I'm 70 years old. Yeah. I'll never be on The Tonight Show. And that morning, Tom said, Helaine, you, me, and Ziggy could go to the studio. They have a waiting line. And Ziggy doesn't work anymore. So he could have gone there and he could have been in the studio. So he's kicks himself now.
Yeah, it was Jimmy Fallon. This is like in maybe not even in the last 2 years. Jimmy Fallon had it was
You saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And then it was on the news, like on the
So,
next morning. It
what-
was on the news.
What so he saw the clip and he
That
brought
this
the
guy's
guy
been
in.
doing comedy for
No,
so
Ziggy-
long and would never been on the Tonight Show, and Jimmy Fallon's people got wind of it
No, what happened
and
is,
interviewed him or something.
no, when the movie comes out, you have her as a guest. So Joe's talking about the movie, and then Jimmy said, we have a clip. So instead of showing the trailer, he showed the clip in the movie where she's interviewing Ziggy, just like she interviewed me, and I told the Joan Rivers story.
Oh, okay.
He said, I'll never get on the Tonight Show, and there he is. But we could have gone there to the studio
Right.
that day.
Oh, wow.
And then he could have said, oh, we have him in our audience.
But why? So why didn't you guys go?
Because we're lazy. When you're retired, you just don't go to the city. But Tom called us that day. He said, we could go. Joe's going to be on the Tonight Show tonight. We could go in the audience and go on the wait list line. And Ziggy lives in the city, and he told himself, yeah, I could go. But he didn't know Joe was going to show that part of the movie. Yeah. Regrets, I have a few.
That's kind of like the whole thing that that John and Paul were supposedly going to be on Saturday Night Live.
That is the urban legend, right? That they were watching when Lorne Michaels made that offer.
I have this
Oh,
check.
that was fun. You were young then.
$1,000.
Right.
George was on.
He gave George $250, and I remember George saying, "Yeah, but it's a little bit chintzy." That was the first time I heard the word chintzy.
Really?
But then in 92 and 93, when Paul was on Saturday Night Live for the first time, they went back to that.
Yeah.
And he was like, George never gave me any money. Like
That's one
I
of
thought
the
that was
best
hilarious.
because that's one of my favorite. Because Alec Baldwin hosted.
Yeah.
Whatever your opinions are.
Oh,
Alec
and that was the Farley thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Chris Farley too.
I
That's
do
one of the
too.
best SNL episodes ever.
Right.
I love
At
that.
the end of it, when they're saying their goodnights, Paul McCartney picks Chris Farley up, and Farley was,
Yeah.
If
you watch that when Farley's doing that interview
the
with
Chris
Paul,
Farley show, yeah.
there's one scene, I forget what they're referring to, but he was always like, that's awesome, and he gets all excited.
Yeah, or I'm
There's-
an idiot. Still,
Right.
He messed his hair up.
I
But
love
there's
that.
one thing he got excited about, and he mouths fucking A. And
Oh, yeah.
like, if you watch closely, you could see it. He
Probably when he goes, there was a thing when you play the record backwards, it would say, Paul is dead, Paul is dead. Is that true? You go, that's what they call a hoax, right? He goes, yeah, I wasn't really dead.
Did you see Paul on at Christmas time with Martin Short?
Oh, yeah.
My friend stood
Martin Short's
outside.
another awesome.
Yeah,
Martin Short is
Remember I told you my
genius.
friends do crazy things still? They slept out overnight. They have teenage children who were there with them. They stood outside the theater because I came to visit them. I didn't stay outside.
No.
They stayed out that night, and last week they stayed out in the rain.
Jeez.
They're very good.
When was the last time you saw Paul?
I went to the concert. Oh.
No, like face to face.
He had a ballet.
He asked the questions. You look at me a lot when you talk, but don't.
She likes you. You're the cute one.
Listen, I don't blame you. Listen.
You're both cute. Okay, so Paul had a ballet, and we went to the ballet.
This is like early 90s?
He had a ballet production?
Yeah, I
didn't know about that.
That was one of the things I did bring, ballet program. Anyway, he put on a ballet. I know he does everything, doesn't he?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't
Does
know.
everything.
I remember him writing a children's book.
That was
in the last.
Yeah, here's the ballet.
And he's
20
done a lot of
years.
classical pieces and stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, the oratorio. I went
Right.
there. I went to England for that with my friends. Anyway, so Paul, after the ballet, we were parked in the garage, and Paul had like a tent, and after it was over, we went out to eat, and then I think my friend must have seen one of Paul's people, and we hid behind a pole in the garage, and my friend said, Helaine, give me my program, and I had put her program in the car already. She said, Helaine, give me my program, because if Paul signs it, it's not so much his autograph at this point, it's having him stand there extra time. She says, Helaine, give me my program. I went, it's in the car. I said, I think I'm paying the $44 for parking tonight, because she's going to kick my ass. So that's the last time I saw him, and my friends saw him. And then I said, his security wasn't good that night. They didn't see us behind the pole. And then one of our other friends was going down the ramp to join us, and we went, don't, because you're going to blow it for us.
Right. Did you ever show him the picture from '68, or does he know you when he sees you?
He had. I could have said something that night at the ballet, but I felt funny to say something. But I think he knows my friends by now. They go everywhere. I mean, my friend's in the 5th row at the university. Then she's in Seattle. Then she's in Poland. I think he sees
My goodness.
fans. But my English fans, they've been there even longer. Could you imagine seeing them everywhere?
It's also, I mean, in Linda's defense, I could understand when you're that famous. Mm-hmm. I could understand feeling a separation from, or feeling the need to separate yourself from the fans because of not knowing who you're married to, who they've been with, that's there, or people that are just there to they look at them as a godlike figure that want a piece of hair or rip on their clothes. So I can understand the wife or any spouse of a celebrity having a defense mechanism of feeling almost repulsed by the people that are there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
they need space. Well, Paul said
yeah, but
something.
still, you still should give people the benefit of the doubt that they're not crazy.
Well, in Linda's defense, she was nice to my friends in England after a while.
Yeah.
What happened with me and Linda happened in New York. After she was married for many, many years, my friends said she was very nice to them.
Yeah.
All right. You guys ready? We got 15 minutes left. You want to do a little Beatles trivia? Let's see. Which Beatles have beards on the cover to the Hey Jude album? Oh, my goodness.
The Hey Jude, the 45?
No, the album. There's an album
I
called...
don't know that Hey Jude album.
Why would you know the 45?
No, because I don't know the Hey Jude album. My guess would be Ringo only.
Paul, Ringo. I say Paul and Ringo.
John, George, Ringo. And I did not look at these, I promise you.
No, I think the Hey Jude is like the Get Back.
John George, Ringo.
You were right.
John, George, Ringo. Yeah, they're standing between those two pillars. Whose house was that? John's? I don't know. All right. Who told Pete Best he was no longer a Beatle?
I would say Paul.
John? Ringo?
Imagine it's Ringo. Hello, I'm replacing you. Oh,
I know. Oh, I know who it was.
Brian Epstein?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yep, Brian Epstein.
I just heard that recently. You know, they put up a statue in Liverpool of Brian. A few weeks ago, they showed the unveiling.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm embarrassed that I know these questions. Which two Beatles sit next to each other on the Magical Mystery Tour bus?
Oh, John and George?
Yeah, okay, John and George. But then Paul was behind Ringo, wasn't he? Wasn't Ringo sitting with the big
know.
with Aunt what was her name? Aunt Jessie?
My friend Barbara was on the bus.
Oh, John and George, you got it. You didn't even
say anything.
Did you ever see that movie?
I have tried watching it and I couldn't get it.
Yeah, it's not very good.
My friend was on the bus.
Really?
Barbara, she lives near me.
Wow.
And everywhere we go, she shows people pictures. You could go to the supermarket with her and she'll show people.
Which Beatle received a black eye in a scuffle with fans, angry over the firing of Pete Best?
Ringo, I would say.
How can you say Ringo? He replaced Pete Best.
Because people may have taken resentment that Ringo replaced him.
Yeah. You're right. Duh.
Is that your answer too? I think it's George. It's George.
George?
Yep.
You're winning too much. I'm going to think this wasn't brand new.
I promise you. I did.
Kidding.
I promise.
Tony's cheating.
What is on the back cover of the album John Lennon Plastic Ono Band?
I'm proud to say I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That one I don't know.
My guess is them naked holding each other.
Oh, you know what? I do know this. It's a picture of John as a child. A childhood picture of John. I swear to you, I did not read this. I promise you.
Beatle fan.
I promise.
I was impressed with Will, but hey.
Hey, Bulldog Jude.
He's in a movie and he knows his Beatles stuff. Remember I saw you at that movie premiere?
That's right.
Were you there, Will?
No.
I felt bad. I didn't say hi to you.
I didn't either.
You what? You weren't allowed? Is
Wasn't
that-
invited.
You were invited.
I saw it on the Facebook.
No.
It said, if you have no life and have nothing to do, this is free.
I don't know about
Am I kidding?
Yeah, I felt bad. I didn't recognize you with the mask. I didn't know it was you.
Well, you don't even know me.
Study my Rolling Stones trivia. That's what I thought today was going to be.
What Beatles film? Oh, all right. We just talked about it. What Beatles film contains a race involving bikes, motorcycles, cars, and a motor coach? We just talked about it.
Help.
Magical Mystery Tour. In Help, a swimmer surfaces in a hole in the ice and asks for directions to where?
Finland?
Is that what it is, Finland?
No.
No.
I don't remember.
Oh, it's a Olympic swimmer, because he asks which way to. Oh, what is it?
Who is the swimmer? You know. Who's the swimmer? Who is it?
Mal Evans.
Thank you.
Is he an Olympic swimmer?
He plays the Olympic swimmer, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was their road manager.
Athens?
Uh,
The White Cliffs of Dover.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that one.
My 47th guess.
Did you ever play this before?
No.
You did good.
I think it's a dead giveaway. I've never played this before.
No, you know your Beatles stuff, both of you. I'm so impressed.
For the runaway...
Fellas know different things than the girls.
Oh.
Girls know the girlfriends and that kind of stuff and what they're wearing, and the fellas know the music stuff. Go ahead.
For the runaway and She's Leaving Home, what can't money buy?
Fun.
Oh, I think she's right.
Fun is the one thing money can't buy.
Yeah.
I helped Will.
You got it.
I was helping Will. Is anyone else watching us?
Nobody's commenting.
Linda was going to watch.
What? Who was?
Linda Marcus Smith.
Oh, yeah? Well, she hasn't commented, damn it. She's too busy with Art Schill. She must be sexting with him right now.
It's 4 a.m. where she lives.
Doesn't matter.
But isn't that like lunchtime? When you're a senior citizen, isn't it?
Oh, you're so funny.
Sorry.
Listen to this question. What brand of cigarettes nearly became the title for the Beatles album that was eventually named Abbey Road?
Benson and Hedges. Newport.
Galois?
Merritt. Doral.
These are English cigarettes, probably.
Everest. How do people know this
Can
stuff?
I plug 2 things?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
I want to plug Jackie Spencer's tours in Liverpool. She not only gives tours, and she's wonderful, but she puts on at Sirius. They have her doing tours, and when in the middle of the pandemic, she'll take us to Liverpool on the Facebook. So I just love Jackie Spencer, and she's the best Beatle tour guide.
I was at Abbey Road once, and I did not take the tour. I'll have to do
There's
that.
Liverpool, though.
Oh, Liverpool. Liverpool, I haven't been to
let's
yet.
plug the one in London. That's
Okay.
Richard,
Belzer?
no. Oh, my God. Richard, I'm forgetting your name, but you're not watching. He's in England, Richard. Anyway, he has the best Beatle tour.
Okay. And then plugging you. Are you playing tonight in the Giggle Room?
Yeah, how'd you know? Yeah, I need one more. One more person should step up to go watch me. Right, James? 5 people, right, James? I'm making a joke.
I thought James was there.
So did I.
I know I made a
That's
joke.
why I look. I was like, he was pretty quiet.
And all right, so that's tonight. Go see Helaine tonight in the Giggle Room. Who else is on that show?
Joe, tall, thin fella. Joe.
Oh,
you know.
Joe.
Cravella.
Joe
Joe Cravella.
there, and Pamela Roth invited me to be in the show. It's her show.
Very nice.
Joe Cravella's a nice guy.
Joe Cravella is really nice. Very
He's
funny
making
guy.
it big, quickly.
Yep, and him and that Larocco fella.
Oh, he's in it.
Larocco was in, I saw he was on Compound Media the other day.
Yeah?
He's abandoned me. He used to come in there every Tuesdays. I haven't seen him in months. Now he's over because he's on Compound Media. Son of a
Wow.
bitch.
I used to go to Compound Media
Did you?
to Pat Dixon's show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do whatever he asks me. Within reason.
Now, and you, my friend, you've had a busy week. You have like birthdays and anniversaries. You got all sorts of stuff. Like you got your wife's birthday.
My sister's birthday was Monday. My oldest sister. My wife's birthday was Tuesday. Our anniversary was yesterday.
Goodness.
My brother's birthday is today. My youngest brother. His birthday's today. And
so your parents were busy last summer, the summer
they didn't
before.
Have my wife, but yeah.
Well,
but my brother and my sister are 13 years apart. Wow. So they're the oldest and the youngest, 5 kids.
13 years apart. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Then
Wow.
with your wife and your anniversary, you probably every year have.
Yeah, it's February. So at Valentine's Day, a week after Valentine's Day is her birthday, and 2 days later is our anniversary.
Wow.
But it's
you probably
it's
spend
nice
more money than Christmas at this time of year.
Yeah, but I mean, we've also been married long enough that my wife's always been awesome. She's never wanted or expected something fancy or outlandish. So just going to dinner, she's like, there's no. I have it very easy. I'm very
You don't
very
have to
lucky.
buy a fancy jewelry.
Yeah, I mean, I did when we were dating.
Oh, you did?
And we were first married.
Of course.
But she's will gladly accept it, but she's not about that,
What she is about? Oh no, that's your sister. Your sister's about chips.
Oh, so my sister, it was her 50th, so I wanted to do something special because it was her 50th, and originally we were gonna try to surprise her and go down to Florida to visit the Mets spring training.
Oh,
we were going
boy.
to surprise her. My brother-in-law was taking her down there. We were surprise her, but we weren't able to do it. But I was like, but it's her 50th, so I want to do something big. So I know there's the app Cameo, where you have celebrities, whatever. So I was like, well, who's on Cameo that I could write that she knows it's coming from me and coming from the heart. So the first one I thought of was Henry Winkler, because when we were kids, we loved the Fonz and Happy Days.
Oh, that's
He's
great.
not on Cameo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was like, well, Chips and Dukes of Hazzard were like our other favorite shows. But just to get Bo from Dukes of Hazzard was like almost $400. And I was like, yeah, no. So I ended up getting Eric Estrada and Larry Wilcox, who played Ponch and John. And I sent them similar messages, but it was like it was so awesome that they both got back.
And the price was better?
Yeah, it was almost half what it was just to get John Schneider from Dukes of Hazzard. But
Really?
I knew any one of them would have been like
But you had both.
But I was like, I want to get both because
How much were they?
They were decent amount. Ponch charges more. But that's, I guess, because people aren't buying that real estate in Arkansas that he used to put on the infomercials.
Right.
His teeth are still white as anything.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And he's starting to get gray, finally.
John Wilcox, he was like, hey, how you doing?
Larry Wilcox.
What did I say?
John.
Oh, John.
But he's John Baker, yeah.
John Baker.
Larry
yeah.
Wilcox obviously has aged,
Yeah.
but his voice still sounds the same. He's still, I mean, he was not only an actor, but he was a Marine and a Vietnam vet.
Oh, I didn't know
going
that.
into Chips. Yeah, and he was more. They didn't care for you. They didn't care. He didn't really care for Eric Estrada and the direction Chips was going in, because if you remember when Emergency came out, Emergency was more of like a drama.
Right.
And then Chips was supposed to kind of be like, originally it's like Emergency, but then Eric Estrada got the limelight and they started writing in like jokes, and then they would end
Right.
on a laugh, whatever.
They'd show him dancing at discotheques and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Bruce Jenner came in and replaced Larry Wilcox.
Steve McLeish.
What?
He was Steve McLeish.
That was his name?
Steve McLeish, yeah. So there was a time where Larry Wilcox had enough, but because he felt that like he wasn't jealous. He felt that like it was going too much into Ponch always like hamming it up for the camera. Eric Estrada always hamming it up for the camera, and he was kind of like, this was supposed to be show that like, yeah, there would be some humor lines in it, but he always felt like he was mugging for the camera. So they kind of like just stopped talking to each other altogether. But I still can watch that show. That Magnum PI I could watch forever.
So did your sister love those gifts?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she absolutely loved them. So
did you ever meet those guys?
Did you ever meet Eric Estrada or?
Well, my friend has a story about him from before he was famous.
Jude?
No, her other best friend. Yeah, something happened with him and with John, the boxer. You know the boxer, Rocky.
Sylvester Stallone?
Both of them before they were famous.
John. Oh, okay.
Sylvester Stallone, I called him
You
John.
said John.
You know what? I'm thinking of John Travolta. She didn't do that with him. But I don't want to take the wind out of your story.
No, it's okay.
You were telling
I don't
us
think
about you
I don't think John
having a
Travolta
busy
did
week.
anything with Kelly Preston either.
That's so funny. No, but we're talking about your special week, and I don't want to
can't
talk
look
about
at
who
you
my
like
friend
that.
slept with
I'm
in
attracted
ninth
to
grade.
guys over here.
What?
What? They
What?
closed Lenny's Pizza on 86. I can't believe it over here. 30 minutes I wait online and you gave me a cold slice. No, so that was my sister's birthday, my wife's birthday. I got her a cameo from Big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé, who looks like this.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Poor guy, yeah. The guy's got like he's got some kind of condition where his spine, his like spinal column like breaks and then fuses back together. So the guy literally looks like Barney Rubble, who's got no neck, or like if like he's almost built like the Tasmanian Devil, or like if like Wile E. Coyote had like an Acme Safeland on his head. So he's like this, but like we started watching the show a couple of years ago during the pandemic, and we were just like, this guy's just out there. So we ended up getting I was like, I get a cameo for him, but I put in like happy birthday. You know, I mentioned my kids and that you're a great mom to the kids, and he forgot my son, but he mentioned my wife, and my son was pissed.
Oh,
Not that
really?
My son even watches the show. He's 8, but like. Yeah, that guy's out there, and I got her a cameo from one of the cast members of Jersey Shore. My
Which
wife's a
one?
big Sammy. She's in the original lineup. She was the one that dated Ronnie in the beginning, and hers actually, of the two I got my wife, hers was the best, and it was cool because I put like personal stuff in there, but she's like, oh my god, I love what he said. Even if she's acting,
Yeah.
it seemed genuine.
Yeah.
From her. Even Larry Wilcox, Estrada just reads off. I mean,
Yes.
obviously they read off their stuff, but Larry Wilcox seemed way much more genuine.
Yes.
He even said extra stuff.
Yes.
To my sister because of stuff that I put in.
And he thanked her for being a good American.
Yeah. Well, you saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched
He
both
was like-
videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Estrada was just kind of reading a list where Larry Wilcox was talking.
Yeah, my sister definitely is a patriotic person, and so I just said my sister's is proud of being an American, but he like threw in some extra stuff, which I was like that was pretty funny because I didn't mention the other stuff when he was like, no more of this woke business.
Right.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, wow, good for him. But
It's funny you mentioned emergency. A buddy of mine, a few years ago for his birthday, his wife got him Randolph Mantooth cameo.
Oh yeah.
The guy goes on for like 6 or 7 minutes. He
Yeah.
just goes on and on, like, holy shit, shut up already.
I had Peter Asher do one for Marianne.
Oh, yeah?
Impressive. She goes,
How much does Peter Asher charge?
I think he only charged. It was really cheap. It was $50 at the time. I think it's $200 now.
Back in.
But then he sings. He'll sing a song.
Words of Love.
No, he sang. Please lock me away. Don't allow the day.
Oh, not
World
World
Without
Without
Love.
Love. That's what I meant. Not
But
Words
you
of
know
Love.
what
Yeah.
it looked like? It looked like he matched it, because it looked
A
like
lip
he
sync?
had it. Yeah, but it didn't matter. And then he said to her, "You were a midwife." Paul's mother was a midwife. What a thing to say to my friend. It was perfect.
In the mid-'90s, I met Peter Asher in the city, and he was shocked that somebody knew who he was. He was shocked.
He goes to the Beatles Fest. I
He
have a
does.
picture
He
with him.
had. He used to have I don't know
That
if he does
show on the
anymore.
Beatles channel.
Show on the
Beatles
Beatles channel. Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's
very
what.
nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This was in the '90s before he was doing anything
Yeah.
like that.
But it's
Yes.
funny you said that they ran it for like 6-7 minutes. Andrew Dice Clay is one that he charges. He's another one like $350 or $400, but he'll do 20 minutes.
Wow.
Really?
That's what I've heard. Is that sometimes he'll go on for 20 minutes, which I think you definitely get because for my. Who is it? There's somebody I want. Oh, for my buddy's 50th. For my buddy, one of my two best friends I got cameos for last year for a 50th and a 45th, and for the 45th best friend, I was like, we've seen Dice a couple. We left an Islander game to go see Dice here at Governor's years ago, and I was like, he'd appreciate it. But then I was like, $350. I was like, oh man, like if it was his 50th, even that's like a stretch. But I was like, yeah. But I had heard that Dice will like he'll be like, all right, so I'm over here. But he'll just ramble, and then that's part of his bit. But he'll start yelling at his girlfriend. But it's like, but he'll literally do 20 minutes.
So it's like seeing him in concert.
It's
Right.
like it's like seeing him, and you know that no matter what he's talking about, it is funny, you know. Or he'll go, "So you're 45. Let me tell you something." You know, like he'll
That's nice.
he'll bro out with you. You know,
Really into Cameo. For
d-
presents.
just this week. Yeah, I came across it a couple of years ago, but
That's when it started.
But I was like, you up for when it's somebody's like big birthday, like I'll do it. Like 45th is it's my buddy. He's and it was it was during the pandemic. I was like, you know what, it would be cool to do.
Because you don't go shopping.
50th.
Right.
No,
What are you gonna buy someone a Cameo special?
At that time, was I gonna buy masks and
it
toilet
was
paper?
new.
Or prison made fucking hand sanitizer.
Is the show over now? Because I wanted to tell you a Cameo joke.
What do you want to do it on the show or off the air?
Now.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I have a joke, and this is true. My nephew doesn't discipline his child like we were beaten or slapped, around, and the kids today don't say no to their child. So he got a Cameo, and he was so proud of it, and it was on Instagram. He said, "Look at who I got. I got a famous race car driver to tell my son to go to bed on time." So the race car driver says, I use a fake name, "Noel, you have to listen to your father and you have to go to bed on time. Look at me, I'm a famous race car driver, and that's what you want to do when you grow up, so you have to go to bed on time. My father, he was a famous race car driver, and he smashed his race car into the wall, and he died that day. Do you know why he died that day, Noel? Because he didn't listen to his father. He didn't go to bed on time."
Oh my goodness.
I know it's very...
You don't have to say the name. I think we can figure
Yeah,
out.
I think, yeah.
I didn't,
right.
No, but it's not. It doesn't get laughs, so I'm going to stop doing it. Otherwise, I'm going to put laughs in it because.
Or just change the name from Noel to somebody else. That might be.
Why no?
No, I'm kidding.
No, you know what? See how you said, "Oh my goodness," that's what the audience does. They gasp for breath, so it's not working.
I would tell them who the race car driver is, because if not, if they don't know NASCAR, they wouldn't be able to. Some of them wouldn't be able to figure it out.
But that would be better.
I would definitely tell them who it is.
Say I am.
Because
Number 3.
because chances are, if they hear this kid, they hear the son say it, they're like, "Oh, that's because they have a similar name."
It's really Austin. Who he really got was not.
Not Junior.
No. But see how you reacted? That's how the audience reacts. My friend said I should go like, "Oh, you're offended by that, but you're not offended that the race car costs $750 million and has emissions and you can't breathe. That you don't mind."
That's good. I like that.
Like,
and then you hear somebody in the back go,
say?
"How dare you!" That's my Greta Thunberg. "You have taken my dreams. I should not be here. You're selfish. I should be in school. How dare you!" Fuck you. Chained herself to like a muddy pit.
She'd say that to Dale.
With a Cabbage Patch Kid looking fucking head.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Glad the show's over.
Yep, with that, it is time to go. So come tonight to the Giggle Room and come see Helaine and whoever else is on it. And that's it. We're out of here. Tonight on our YouTube channel, we got a double shot of Donversations. Don Sill will be talking to a filmmaker named Jason Spagnoli. He was in here just a few weeks ago with Joey Petroni. And then the next episode is Don talking to his buddy Benny Rizzuti. And then tomorrow night, you can see me and Don in here, live from Governor's Green Room. We'll be in here tomorrow night, hoping to get Adam Ferrara in here for a few minutes. And then that's it. And then Monday, I'll be back here Monday at 11. And I think Richie Byrne might be here. I'm not sure. But I'll let you guys know. So everybody have a great rest of your your Friday. Thank you, Will. Good to see you, pal.
Goodbye, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Now, how do people keep track of your appearances and stuff?
I'm on Facebook.
Facebook. Helaine Witt on Facebook.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. This was a lot of fun. Thanks so much.
It was.
All right, guys. We will enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you guys later.
Spagnolo, resume.